It's me talking about my failed relationships, essentially, using playground maths. So it's something I used to do as a kid. It's all built around that. To tell the story of various relationships. It's going to be lots of audience participation, very interactive, lots of high energy, lots of fun. And me just spouting off poems about how all my ex-boyfriends were dickheads. There might be the odd ukulele song and things like that as well. But yeah, the tagline's like, if proximity times tolerance over time equals relationship, then surely there's a formula for true love. And it's just, yeah, my attempts at finding the word. So the calculator is the name of the device that I use. I don't want to give too much away about it, but you know, the love calculator is the device that I can calculate percentages of compatibility with various partners. So all the poems will be related to a percentage and get people to shout them out. You know, do a poem based off that. Is the plan? Right, I do pick them. Well, I read a thing that said you've got to fall in love at least 7 times before you get married, and that includes unrequited loves, love that nothing ever comes to, and you know, different kinds of love as well, I suppose. So there's enough to do in our show, put it that way. So, but I've been on a few dates here and there, I think. Yeah. And you can argue that the people who've been out with me haven't had much luck either, so yeah. It's my first solo show really. I've done some of the poems have featured at open mic events that I've done and when I've headlined at various poetry events and things like that. So some of it's solid material that I've worked with for a long time, but put into a totally new format where it's all about me. It's not, you know, I'm not just a name on the bill, it's like my name is the bill. So that'll be interesting. And it'll be really nice to be able to own the stage and stuff like that. Because I've done acting in various guises like school plays, college, and bits and pieces here and thereafter. But poetry is kind of that thing where it's like acting, but you don't have to talk to anyone. So you get to perform and you like get to have a great time, and you get to write, and you get so much creative control, and with none of the headaches a lot of the time, which is lovely. And Manchester's got such a great poetry scene as well. Such a lovely scene. I mean, the Bury scene's fab as well. Manchester's got so many great events. You've got things like Sturge, you've got things like Bunbury, you've got like this sadly defunct Salford Spoken Words Showcase, which was great. Loved it there. But I've been performing for a few years since I was in uni, really. I've always written it, and I didn't know until I was about 18 when my friend took me to a poetry show. I was like, people sit and watch this. People will actually turn up. Oh, I can do something with this, and that was like mind blowing. So I've been in Salford for going on 5 years now. Lived in York previously, studied there for 3 years. That's when I started performing at open mics and things at a regular slot at a place called The Attic in York, which is a lovely bar. And then moved to Salford to do a learning disability nursing and social work course at the University of Salford. And I've stuck around. It feels like a home from home, really. You know, it's near enough to Manchester to be cool, but it's not Manchester, and being from Leeds, that's still quite important. But no, I do love it here. It's like the people are fab, and you know, like all the placements I did, I just loved all the people I met, everybody's sound, and it's just really vibrant, there's so much going on. Oh, anybody who's been in love, anybody who's had a relationship hopefully, I think the young lost 20-somethings like myself who you know, want to maybe find a tried and true tested method for working out is my Tinder date the one. So you'd have to come see the show to find out what the method is exactly. But anybody who's ever been in love, I think, you know, people who in love, out of love, in on and around love. It's more about relationships and how do we make connections with people, how do we keep them going. Anybody who likes a bit of a laugh, because there's comedy, but there's going to be some heart in it as well, because obviously it's a very personal thing. So anybody who's, it's quite a broad appeal. I think there's definitely a bit of swearing though. So, maybe, you know, gird your ears first. So maybe not the tiddlers, but I can't do maths. I've brought a calculator precisely for that reason. Yes, absolutely, certainly for people who can't do maths. It's it's playground maths. It's very basic. I'm not a mathematician by any stretch, which is maybe why I haven't been so lucky in love. Maybe that's what the problem is, I can't add up.